Hi everyone, I'm Tamara, and I think you've probably seen some other videos of mine, so you know my face, but I am popping on here this Wednesday to kind of demonstrate a few more of my favorite products as I get ready for dinner tonight, which is having hamburgers and asparagus, because we're trying to cut back on our carbs, not all of them, of course, but just making sure that we don't have things like potatoes and rice and pasta for every single meal. And this is a meal I make often. It's usually with steak or ground beef, sometimes chicken, and then a grilled veggie. I really don't want to go outside and heat up the grill, and so I'm going to be using my deluxe grill and griddle, which has grill capabilities. So I'll get those nice marks that we get from the grill, right? Anyway, so we're gonna have hamburger and asparagus. So this is gonna be a tiny bit lengthy maybe because I'm gonna be going through some of the products and what they do. I especially wanted to demonstrate the burger and slider press. Great for making hamburgers and sliders for your grill, your fire pit, if you put a grill over the top of that, or if you are going camping, right? So anyway, I am starting with a little bit of ground beef. But before I get started, I want to get this heated up so I can get these burgers on there. Now, our deluxe grill and griddle is a little bit special, and it's probably one of my current most favorite appliances that we have. I do have the air fryer and the deluxe cooking blender, all of which I use quite a bit, and the multi-cooker and the Flex Plus that has, you know, the food processor as well as the emulsion tool and the beaters, and I use that one quite a bit too. But this little guy here is probably my most used all summer long because I do love to grill. I love to waffle stuff, not just waffles, and so it gets used a lot. And I wanted to show you why I like it. Okay, first of all, and what is not to love about dishwasher safe, right? And you're thinking, what? The grill can't be dishwasher safe. Well, parts of it are. The plates, right? The part that gets really dirty, those pop out really easily. And as long as you put them in the dishwasher with these elements pointing up, you're totally fine. And these pop in super, super easy. Now, all of our small appliances are $100 off in August. That's a pretty sweet deal. So make sure you take a look at all of them, all right? There are quite a few. All right, so this is ready to go. Now, since I'm putting hamburger in there, we want ours to be pretty much medium well, and that's about 155 internally. And the deluxe grill and griddle has a built-in probe that comes with it. So I'm just gonna pop that in there. I'm gonna turn it on. It's got a little on switch back there. I'm gonna click probe. I want it to be at 400. And then I'm gonna set the internal temperature to 155. And that's gonna heat up until it gets to 400, and then you'll see what happens once I get those burgers in there. And then we'll finish out the rest of the meal while that's cooking and get the asparagus ready. Okay, so I've got my ground beef, and I'm just gonna be adding to that. A lot of people put breadcrumbs in there, and I kind of grew up putting oatmeal and even an egg in ours to kind of help it bind. I'm gonna put just a little bit of salt in there, a little bit of pepper. Now, Pampered Chef has a couple of really nice salt and pepper grinders, but these are pretty special. They're kind of part of our family. Everybody in our family or extended family has this set, so I'm gonna hang on to that, right? Anyway, I am gonna be using the bell pepper herb tonight. It came with my Taste Buds subscription. Yes, I am a consultant and I do subscribe to Taste Buds. I love getting those seasonings once a month, and they sometimes throw a little surprise in there. And once in a while, you'll actually get a seasoning that's not available in the pantry because I think they're kind of beta testing it, right? To see how well it goes over. And so you'd be a part of that if you are a Taste Bud subscriber. So anyway, this is available in our pantry, and it's the bell pepper herb seasoning. So good. It does have a little bit of garlic in there, of course, all the peppers, a little bit of salt. I'm just gonna eyeball this. It's gonna be pretty well seasoned, I think. And I don't like to get my hands in ground beef, so, and I don't have any more gloves handy. So I'm just actually gonna use a little plastic bag to get this all mushed up. Probably gonna end up getting it on my hands, but you know what? I have a super duper tool that I think is gonna be perfect for this. Hold on just a moment. ta-da. I really didn't mean to do that. That wasn't like the sales moment. I literally thought of it as I was getting my hands in all that plastic. This is our mix and chop. And it's great, you know, for mixing up your bananas, of course, to chop your beef while it's cooking. But it's also great to mix things up pretty quickly. Gets that hamburger nice and chopped down, so I'm not having to ooze my fingers all the way through there. Now, when I was growing up, we also put Worcestershire sauce in our hamburger patties. I remember my mom putting, you know, onion flakes and garlic powder and salt and pepper and all those good things. So that's getting nice and mixed up, and I didn't even have to get my fingers in there. You're probably thinking, well, Tamara, eventually you're going to have to, because you've got to put that into a little ball, right, to put in the burger press, and you're not wrong. So I'll try not to get too squeamish. You know, some meat I don't mind handling. I don't mind handling fish. I don't mind handling straight up steak. But ground beef and raw chicken, I don't know. There's just something about that combination that I'm not real excited about. How about you? Okay. Almost there. I think it's nice and mixed in. Okay, let's go ahead and get these sorted. Now, in the past, whenever I make hamburger patties, I really wasn't a fan, so I would spend the extra money that you kind of have to spend to get them already made up at the store. And that was kind of a waste, right? Because they are going to charge you for that. They always charge extra for anything that they're going to do for you. Anyone does, right? So I did that because whenever I made my own hamburger patties, they would seize up and become like little hockey pucks, or, you know, just too thin, and then they would fall apart. Just never could seem to get it right, and it was kind of annoying, so I just went the easy route. Well, with the burger and slider press, that's gonna help me out. I did not know, and some of you probably already know this, that if you put a little dimple in the middle of your patty, that will take up the extra space and it won't end up being a hockey puck. Who knew? Not me. So anyway, our burger press actually puts that little dimple in there for you, which I think is super great. All right, trying to get this into a little bowl so it's not got raw meat going everywhere. Trying to finagle that. All right, this is our slider and burger press. It's really light. It's pretty simple. If you keep the little insert in there and use this end, and can you see that little dimple? You can use that for sliders. It's a perfect size for sliders. You can use ground chicken, ground turkey, ground pork, whatever you prefer. Just take that out for a regular size burger. And that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight. Now this is telling me it's ready. It actually says add, so I know it's time to add that burger. So let's get busy and make these and get them on there. I'm probably not gonna make all of them because I think I have enough here for about 4 or 5 patties, but I will get 2 going. And I just wanna make sure I've got a healthy size portion, right? Probably a good handful. And I'm just gonna set that right down in there. These are gonna be pretty thick, but that's okay. We kinda like them that way, right? All right, just get that right down there, and then you just start pressing. It's gonna shape it for you. You don't have to worry about getting it in a nice round shape and patting it out. Gosh, I remember having to do that. And it's gonna have that little dimple in there because this too has the little dimple. See that? All right, so this one's gonna go in first. And you can just slip that out. It's got a little press in the bottom. It's, you know, not solid. It'll kind of push down. And I'm making this look harder than it is. All right, it's not wanting to come out. I think it kind of adhered. I only got the 80-20 combination. There it goes. And of course, my hands got right in that ground beef. That's okay. All right, another blob in there. Get that tamped down nice. Make my burger with the little dimple. Now this one, I'm gonna I make those last two later. This is the last one to go in, so it's gonna get the probe, right? Let me get that out in my hand so I can put the probe in there. You know, I thought because it was so fatty, I didn't have to spray this very much at all, and I didn't spray the bottom. But it looks like that fat just wants to adhere. But there it is. Look, it came out nice and clean. Nothing is left behind. So now I want to take my probe, and I'm just going to stick it right into making sure that it's not coming up or below, right? Right through to the middle. And then I'm just going to lay that on my grill. Close it up. It already smells good. I'm going to press add. Now it's already gone down to 55, which is the current internal temperature of the cold ground beef. And this is going to cook until it's just exactly 155, and then it'll tell me that it's ready to take out. My burgers are going to be perfect all the way through. I get very excited about that part, as you can tell. Okay, while that's cooking, and it's not going to take very long, let's go ahead and prep our butter. I like to put a little bit of butter on top when I take it out, and I'm going to put a little bit of that butter on my asparagus, which I already have trimmed and ready to go. That's going to also go on the grill. So I've got about 3 tablespoons of softened butter. You can use salted, unsalted, whatever you prefer. I'm going to be pressing, it calls for the recipe that I have for us as 1 clove of garlic. But we are huge garlic lovers in this family. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot for 2 garlic cloves. Love our garlic press. If you're not using fresh garlic, you need to. This is absolutely a game changer for all my garlic lovers. Okay, it's just got a little bit of the skin left in there, but I've got all the good. This comes with a little, kind of looks like a Barbie brush to clean that out, but we're not going to take time to do that tonight. So I've got that, and it calls for a little bit of rosemary, and I happen to have fresh rosemary from my garden. Anyone who knows me super well is totally surprised by that. But things are flourishing out there, and I'm really proud of that because I am not a green thumb. Okay, what I'm using right here is our herb stripper. It's got little bitty holes there depending on the stalk, and it just gets the green right off so that you don't have to worry about. Get that a little narrower up there. Okay, now what to do, I've got all this beautiful, beautiful rosemary. I want to chop it really fine. And so I'm going to use my food chopper. I could put a little bit in here and chop just a little bit, but I'm going to chop it on my mat. Now, I have not had to sharpen these. I've had this for almost 25 years. And the only thing I've replaced is this about 3 years ago. And I've only sharpened this once, and that was just a couple months ago. But I want to show you that we do have a blade sharpener. And it sharpens both scissors, the manual food processor, this food chopper, and knives. And it's telling me that this is done. Let me take these out to rest for a minute, okay? Look at that. Can you see that? Probably not, but I'll show you as soon as I get these off. There we go. Whew. Oh dear, don't want to drop that down in there. Nice and juicy. I have more burgers to make, but I'll do those later. I just wanted to show you my lovely burgers. Medium well. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that, and then I just want to turn this on custom. Just let it heat up for maybe 2 minutes, or the timer will be on for 2 minutes. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set that at 450 to get that ready to go. I don't need my probe anymore. We're going to get the asparagus on there as soon as that's ready to go. In the meantime, we're going to finish this part up. So I was showing you our blade sharpener, and all I have to do to sharpen these is just kind of hang on to the bottom because it does rotate, and just kind of go around it like that. And like I said, I've only done this is the second time I've done this in 25 years. So anyway, all right, you're gonna see how well this works. I'm gonna chop it right on my mat because I want that to be really super fine. All right, love fresh herbs from the garden. I've never been a green thumb, so this is just a big deal for me to have fresh herbs. This is a great stress reliever too. And a great way to get your kids to help you in the kitchen. If you're supervising, of course, this is just a lot of fun. And look how nice and fine that's getting. The more you chop, the finer it's gonna get. And oh my goodness, that smells amazing. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that or not. Very fine. So we're just going to pop that in there. I kind of got more than I needed. Got kind of carried away, didn't I? Okay, let me see if I have a little something to smush that around. I've got my garlic, fresh rosemary. This is going to be ready to go. Let's see. Smoking. Okay, let me get that on there. I left a lot of grease on there, and that's probably not good. Hang on just a minute. Like I said, real quick, I got the 2080 ground beef, and I know that's not the healthiest one, but it was the cheapest one. And these days, we try to eat, you know, within our budget, right? That's why I've got some paper towels over there, because I like to soak off as much as I can of any extra fat. I just kind of forgot to do that because I was chatting with y'all. Hang on just a minute. All right. Let's go ahead and get these asparagus on here. I'll just do a few because I want them to be in a single layer. My daughter loves asparagus. Okay. I think that's going to be about right. I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down on there. And for some reason that just went off. I think if you leave it for too long, it's going to go off on you. Okay. Well, it's asking me what I want to do, and I want to do custom. Go down to just 2 minutes. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I've got my butter set, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit on these burgers and let that kind of melt into there. Give it a little extra flavor, right? A little garlic in there. Now when that asparagus is done, I'm gonna be squeezing a little bit of lemon on top. That little bit of acid just really takes out the kind of strong asparagus-y kind of taste. Sometimes we love asparagus, but sometimes it can be kind of strong. This won't taste lemony. It's just a little acid from a little bit of lemon will just brighten up those flavors just perfectly. And of course, I'll be putting some more of the butter on there as well with the herbs. All right, so I think that's really all I've got for you today. I was hoping to be able to show you my finished product. So if you don't mind hanging out with me for just a few minutes, I can see some of you are commenting, and that's great. But I'll come back after I finish the video and I'll be able to answer your questions, address any comments that you've made if you're asking questions or need more information. I'm just going to keep an eye on these because it did go off, so I need to make sure I'm keeping an eye on it. I've got the timer on there, but I did things a little bit backwards this evening, but that's okay. All right, remember all of our small appliances are $100 off through the end of August, and then they go back to the regular price. And so if you are going to be hosting in August and you close by August 31st, then you'll be able to get 60% off